What are they throwing us over our heads? Hello again. We often look at the sky often. Normally we are looking forward or down. It is not going to be that we give ourselves a good cake. But how often do you look up each day? Probably not very much. We look when we are interested in the time that will do. When does the rainbow come out? When an airplane passes, for example. And it makes a lot of noise. We tend to look towards, etc. The more we look up, the more they are at night. To see the splendor of the universe. Now, someone has noticed that very rare things are happening above our heads. These things are not from now on. They have been throwing on the earth for the last 100 years. Such as fungicides, nanoparticles, lice, pests, etc. Let's speculate on that. As long as toxic products have been used, in whatever form they have been supplied, they have been detrimental to the nature in general. The whole chain has been contaminated. In the 70s and 80s, they began to fumigate the crops against the pests with the negative factor that those crops were what people bought to eat. In the world wars and substitutes, I do not even want to think what has been sprayed from the air. In recent decades has come a new weapon called chemtrail, are nanoparticle wires that are sprayed with non-legal aircraft over entire nations. Leave a long trail that does not dissipate like a regular passenger plane. The planes make dangerous movements not allowed in aviation. After a while the stellae are opening and forming false clouds. Neither governments nor intelligences know anything about this. Then, who is the one behind everything? How is it possible that they say nothing when they are collecting scientific evidence that we are being fumigated? Conclusion. We don't know for certain date is actually the chemtrail. However, we know that they are nanoparticles of harmful and dangerous products for the entire ecosystem. Rivers, rich lands, trees, etc. have been contaminated by products such as barium, zinc, aluminum, lead, etc. And the bad thing about this is that the plants and animals in these contaminated areas are dying. Said this informant a little first about the chemtrails. From time to time look up, and if you see a spider web of stellae and do not dissipate for hours, that means that we are spraying again. We must do something with these soulless ones that treat us like plagues. Without more, a greeting.